But we are ready to go. We are ready to. I am Dr. Derek Robinson, and I am now inviting you to the doctoral journey with Derek. It is 7:01. We'll get started about 7:02. Just wanted to have this opportunity to kind of check in with you, see how everything is going. I have a good show tonight about a very timely topic that a lot of people miss, but we're going to catch it all tonight and have a great time. I also have some special announcements for you, and I'm going to do things slightly different. I have one announcement I need to make right now. Next week, we will not be on Instagram. The Instagram broadcast will be updated later in pieces or a link to the actual YouTube page, but we're going to go full steam ahead with StreamYard and live like that. So that's how we're going to do. StreamYard gets us on the Facebook page, it gets us on the LinkedIn page, and it gets us on YouTube Live. So we're going to take that route to go, and this will be our last segment on live with Instagram. Not that I don't like Instagram. I wish Instagram would convert over to StreamYard. Hint, Instagram. But I would like to see you do that. That would work out perfect for us. I do see that Bougie Shootery is on here. Congratulations. Thank you, one, for tuning in. Congratulations on your continued success, and I hope to see more. But once again, Bougie Shootery is here tonight. For those of you who do not know, that is a custom charcuterie box, plates. They ship, they do cups, a great dessert box. It's almost like I created it myself. But that is our tone, and that's how we're going to go for today. So let's go ahead and get ourselves started. I have a major announcement coming, but once again, everybody, I am Dr. Derek Robinson, lead researcher and consultant for myadvantage.org. That's www.myadvantage.org. You can see me scrolling down here on the bottom screen, so you can find us that way. And next week, we're going to be talking about doctoral expectations. We've been talking this entire month about writing the literature reviews and writing in general and aspects of that. Next week, we're going to take it somewhere else. We may or may not have a guest. I'm waiting for confirmation on the guest. But once again, we'll talk about doctoral expectations, and we will, if all possible, have a guest there. But we're going to start bringing in more guest speakers. I want to do more listening and talking and having the conversation rather than me just carrying the conversation by myself. I realize you're not trying to hear my voice all the time, and that could be extremely monotonous. I don't have that voice to carry you. I'm not a preacher or anything like that, so I'm not that entertaining. So you have to deal with content. Next week, hopefully, we'll have a guest and we'll be able to talk a little more in depth, things like that. But that's going to be the tone that we'll take from this point on. I'm sharing a actual chat piece. Hopefully, it goes to the different streams that we're on. And you'll see that chat piece. It is to announce something that I'll bring to you a little later, but you can probably see it in the shared screen here. There's something up, and you'll see in the link that we have, again, something's up, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. We're now at 7:05, and let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start tonight a little differently. So we're going to start with a shout out. Our first shout out of the night goes to Bougie Shootery, and the owner of Bougie Shootery is Jacqueline Robinson, based in Jacksonville, Florida. Started in Memphis with the charcuterie boxes. Had great success there. You probably know her if you're in the Charlotte area, if you're in the Jacksonville area, if you're in the Memphis area, you remember her. There's no duplication. Now you can try, but you cannot duplicate it. She has a lot of style with it, a lot of care put into the package she puts together. The food is delicious and healthy, except for the dessert box. That's when you actually have a cheat day. But once again, shout out to Bougie Shootery. You can find her on all platforms. You can find her on Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her everywhere. I believe she has a TikTok. I don't know if they're using it, but they have it there. You can find them and follow them that way. So shout out to Bougie Shootery and bougieshootery.com. Visit that website and make sure that you get a box shipped or something. You will enjoy yourself. So with that said, let's go ahead and start. So we've all been here before. You, in some type of way, whether you were in college and you can remember that, or in school right now, you've sat at your computer, you have started to want to write, and all the ideas left you. It happens, it's kind of normal for most people to experience this at least once, and it coincides with tonight's title. I sat at my computer for 45 minutes. I got one sentence. So with that, let's dive deeper. Like I said, we've all been here before, where you were full of ideas when you woke up in the morning. You woke up, ideas running. You can't wait to sit down and get going with all of those ideas that you have. Then you sit at your computer, arranged all of your stuff, and then nothing. Absolutely nothing. And like I said, we've all been here before. Not uncommon, not very original. We've had this before, and what we call it, in general, we call it writer's block. So we have to deal with this idea and concept of writer's block. So we've been there before. We've got this going. Tonight's topic is writer's block. Before we begin that topic, I want to give another shout out. Shout out is to Dr. Ramon Goings and the Done Dissertation. You can find this on all platforms. Once again, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You'll find either Dr. Ramon Goings or you can find the Done Dissertation. He also has a website, and it's thedonedissertation.com. You can see it on the bottom scroll, but you can find the website there. Once again, if you're in the dissertation process, regardless of the stage you're in, you want to accelerate it to the next level, check out thedonedissertation.com. Once again, the Done Dissertation, Dr. Ramon Goings. You can find him on all platforms. Check him out, see what he has to offer you. Now, the essential topic of tonight is writer's block. Now, writer's block is defined, according to Google, as a condition primarily associated with writing in which an author is unable to produce new work, experiences a creative slowdown. So I'll repeat that again. It is a condition primarily associated with writing in which the author is unable to produce new work or experiences a creative slowdown. We've all had it before. If you've been in anyone's classroom and had to write a paper and you got all these ideas together, you sit down at your computer and then all of those ideas float away like the morning dew. You've had this happen to you before. So it's not a new concept, but it's a concept that we deal with today. And before we dive deeper into the possible reasons, I want to give a third shout out for today. And that is to two people. First, Conversations with Lamp. You can find them on SoundCloud and IG, Conversations with Lamp, and First Gen Fly, makers of fine custom apparel, shirts, polos like the one I have on today, and other items that you can actually use to promote your business or say a particular saying. You can get it custom made at First Gen Fly. That is www.firstgenfly.com. So shout out to Conversations with Lamp on IG and SoundCloud and firstgenfly.com. So the three reasons why we experience these writer's blocks. The first reason are emotional blocks that we're going through. I'm not qualified to speak with you on those things. You have therapists, or I suggest you seek out a therapist to deal with any emotional blocks that you may have that are keeping you from writing. And it's definitely worth checking out. These emotional blocks can include anything from just being in a creative slump, having physical illness, depression, ending of relationships can destroy writing, creativity, financial pressures, a sense of failure, an overall general sense of failure. Once again, I'm not here to be a therapist. This is not what I do. But I am giving you one of the three possible reasons why we will experience writer's block. A second reason is more along my lane. It is the misuse of high and low energy activities. And actually not only just the misuse, but not even understanding your energy levels. We all have varying energy levels. There are moments where we have high energy and we can do some of the more tedious drudgery work like writing, reading in depth, things like that. And we all know what kind of person we are. We'll say it in conversation. I'm a morning person. I'm an evening person. What we're saying is, at these times of days, I have my greatest sense of energy and purpose. And it's the best time in which I can get work done. So, knowing that you have high energy moments means you also have low energy moments. And those low energy moments are the times of day where you have the least amount of energy to do the hard work. Now, not knowing those two can lead to writer's block because you're maybe trying to do high energy activities during a low energy time. High energy activities include things like deep reading, writing, things like that. Low energy times include things like gathering articles to read or preparing to read or doing some of the more, non-intellectual, tedious aspects of life to prepare to do your high energy activities at another time. Now, the reason why I call this the misuse of those time periods is generally this. If you sit down to work at a high energy activity and you find yourself needing to do the low energy activities before you can get to the high energy activities, by the time you get to the high energy activities, you will have lost your energy. And that makes the work harder. So if to get to the point where I can sit down to write, I have to go gather all of my materials. I have to open up folders, get everything set up my desk, set up my table, get a drink, have it sit to the side like this, gather my notes, all of those low energy things that I would need to do before I can get to the energy of writing. By the time I get to my writing time, I will have zapped out 80% of my energy. And now I'm at low energy during a high energy time and I can't get it together. I know this is real because I've done it. So that is when you misuse your high and low energy activity times. And that can lead to a writer's block. So remember that. Know your energy levels. And when you're low energy times, do all the setup that you need. Even if it's at the night before. Set up your computer, set up your folders, set up your notes, have a glass or a bottle or a jug of water in the fridge ready to just grab and go. Check all your social media, get that out the way. And then when you get up in the morning, from the time you go freshen up and then hit the computer room, those ideas are still flowing. Get right down, turn the computer on, bring everything up and get to work. You can use a couple minutes to get you ramped up and going, but that's a better use of your time during that time. So I would suggest that you find those ways to do that. You clear the low energy activities out of the way so that by the time you sit down to write, you have your high energy there and you can go about the business of doing your high energy activity. Now, if you also plan this correctly long term, you don't have to be pushed against the wall where you got to use a low energy moment to do a high energy activity. I've got to do that tonight. I got some revisions for an article that I'm writing, and I've got to now use my high energy time or activity during a low energy time. After this, I want to eat and go to bed, but I still got to get work done. So that said, know your times. The third reason, and possibly the biggest reason that can really, derail your writing, is not outlining, not doing those activities necessary to set up good writing habits. We talked last week about everything that goes into writing: reading, organizing, detailing, outlining. All of those things go theming your literature. All that goes into the writing process. So as part of writing is outlining. So if you do not outline, I'm willing to bet you don't know where you're going. So you can sit down and just try to freestyle writing, and you'll be all over the place, pulling information from everywhere and just trying to make it work. It's almost like a hodgepodge of writing. You don't want to do that. Your writing will look disjointed and unfocused, and that'll be a problem. Not outlining also means you'll have a hard time starting, because most of us want to start from the very beginning. We do this kind of in a chronological or ordinal kind of way, and we start from the very first sentence of the very first idea. And sometimes that's not the best place to start. But you can't start from the middle or from another part where your energy is telling you to go, because you're not organized well enough to actually do that. So if you're not outlined, if you don't have your outlines organized well enough, and I'm going to show you or talk to you about how to organize your ideas well. If you don't have that, then you're starting from nowhere, and you're starting from the beginning, and it's the hardest place to start. So keep those possible 3 reasons in mind as to why writer's block occurs. 3 possible reasons are emotional blocks, which I'm not qualified to deal with, misuse of your high and low energies, and you can go and listen to previous podcasts and get that information on high and low energy activities, and then not outlining, which we'll talk about tonight, and not having a thorough enough detailed outline to actually write within your energy flow. So with that said, I have an important announcement to take care of right now. This summer, for parents, we're offering a Math Advantage Camp. It's an opportunity if you have a rising 4th, 5th, or 6th grade student to get early exposure to math curriculum and content, so that you're actually starting the 4th, 5th, or 6th grade a little earlier than everyone else, hence the advantage. And it gives you that early exposure. One, it cuts down on what we call summer learning loss. And it just keeps the continuity of your learning process going. This year, we're focusing primarily on math. We will possibly expand it in the years to come, but this year, as the inaugural year of the Advantage Camp, we're focusing on math. That's why we're calling it the Math Advantage Camp. Now, presently, we are looking for independent contractors, teachers who are willing to create meaningful, relevant, responsive content virtually for this particular camp. So we're looking for those who are qualified to teach rising 4th, 5th, and 6th graders in math. Now, to do that, I suggest that you know your curriculum. Well, I think you should know your curriculum K-12. But this opportunity will allow you to actually create content in a virtual setting. And we're going to conduct interviews very soon. It's a rolling basis. We have the interview out, the application out. You fill out the application, and we'll start conducting interviews fairly soon. And then you'll have time to create content. You'll have the content created before the camp begins. And based upon enrollment is how you will be paid. You'll actually have the opportunity to share in the profit. Very few people do that. But you'll share in the profit of this camp. Let's say, for example, the camp costs $200. You retain 40% of that. That's $80 per student enrolled. And if in your grade level, 200 students enroll in the 5th grade or whatever grade level you have, then you get $80 for every student there. So 80 times 200, $16,000. Who's offering that? So once again, the Math Advantage Camp is now accepting applications. We're doing a nationwide search for all of those who want to be involved in this process and really actually benefit and kick this process off the right way. So look up, the link has already been shared here, and I'll share the link on Instagram as well. But look up the Math Advantage Camp. It's part of myadvantage.org. And you'll find information on this session. And you can see it here on the screen. If you're looking at StreamYard, you'll see the screen here. And the link has already been posted. So you take that link and then you get to the application and some frequently asked questions so that you can know what we're talking about. So once again, you'll see the frequently asked questions. For parents, information will be coming out very soon about the parent portion of this and how you can register. We start early enrollment in March. So it's a perfect time for you to figure out what the program is about. If you have a rising 4th, 5th, and 6th grader, this is an excellent opportunity to get them an advantage. I did this with my children independently when I was younger and they were younger. When they were going to the 4th and 5th grade, I purchased software and items during that summer so that we could actually work on the next grade. And it gave them an advantage over other students who were coming in. So they were already exposed to information that they were being taught, and it just helped the process for them to move along. So once again, that announcement, the Math Advantage Camp, if you follow me on any platform, you're probably seeing already that I'm advertising for that. If you know of anybody who may be interested in either being an independent contractor, or if they have children that are rising 4th and 5th and 6th graders, put them onto this information. Let them make a good decision, and let's see and make this thing work. So once again, that is a major announcement I have for tonight. And now I want to take this opportunity. It's now 7:22, and I want to dive deeper into the outlining portion. So once again, we talked about the 3 reasons why people have writer's block. And those 3 reasons are emotional blocks that I'm not qualified to help you with. We have misuse of high and low energy activities. And then we have the process of not outlining. And what I want to talk about right now is developing detailed outlines. This is part of my course on mastering literature reviews, so you're getting a little glimpse of what is involved in this particular course. So in this particular section here, we talk about developing a detailed outline. What is a detailed outline? A detailed outline is an outline in traditional form that also embeds research literature through citations and information, paraphrased in your own words. It is essentially the skeleton of the work you're going to write. It uses card codes, and we'll talk about the article cards. We talked about that in previous talks, but it uses those article card sets, and it uses the codes from them to actually also detail where these authors are located. So you've got all this information organized into a detailed outline with the citations there, and they got codes so you know exactly where to pull your cards and your information, so that when you write, you can add more of the bone, more of the meat to the bone of what you're writing. So it allows you to locate those cards and that information and then improve your writing. Now, that's a detailed outline. It's actually structured like a regular outline. If you know how regular outlines are detailed, you have your Roman numerals, your letters, your numbers, things like that. And it connects with APA headings. So the perfect combination there. For example, in levels and headings, level 1 heading in APA, the APA manual, is generally reserved for the main topic or introduction of the main section. So that's a level 1. Level 2, once you've indented from that, is reserved for your themes. And we talked the other week about themes in literature. So your themes are going to be there in your literature and in your outline. So you have the themes there, and they're themed in order. So it may be, theme A, B, and C. Underneath them will be level 3 headings in APA, and these are reserved for your meaning units. So if you think about how an outline is structured, we have one level, and then the next level, your themes, then the level underneath that will be the meaning units. And once again, your meaning units are going to be in the order in which you've organized them. If you have done the article cards and everything else that I've kind of taught people how to do correctly, you'll be there and ready to go. So after that, level 3, we move then to level 4. In level 4, those are reserved for your elements. And your elements, once again, are connected to your significant statements and the real meat of what you're going to be writing. So level 4 headings are reserved for that. Your elements are going to be in your order in which you set them. They're going to also be associated with citations, because these can come from your card, so you know exactly which author made this particular suggestion or which set of authors support this element. And of course, then you'll have your card codes, so you know if it's card article number 19, card 3, then it's 19.3, and you can pull that card and then have it ready when you sit down to do the writing. And actually have it ready the night before, because that's a low energy activity. So when you sit down to do the high energy activities, you're ready to go. So once again, levels 1 is reserved for the overall section or introduction of that section or topic. Level 2 headings are going to be for your themes in order of importance as to how you're writing. Level 3 headings is going to be for your meaning units and the order in which you have your meaning unit structure. And level 4 is going to be dedicated towards your elements, with your elements in order, citations there, and card codes ready, so that you're actually there to begin to write. Doing this, and I'll explain to you the advantage of this, because the whole topic tonight is about writer's block. But setting your detailed outline up with everything in order, from your themes to your elements and then significant statements, allows you to get to the writing in any order that you want. Let's say, for example, my energy is not feeling starting from the very beginning, and I'm not going to do theme 1 first, because it's just not where my energy is. I could actually do theme 2 or 3 or 4 and write that because I'm feeling that particular topic today. And then I can write that part, save it on a separate Word document, and then when I get to theme 1 or 2 or 4, I can begin to start putting all of these together in the final document and have it there. But I'm writing something, as opposed to getting on feeling like I got to start from the very beginning, and I don't have the energy or organization to write that part. So if you're writing in this way, if you have a detailed outline, it doesn't matter where you begin. You write where your energy leads you. You write what topic you're feeling that particular day, knowing that you'll always get to the other pieces because you've done all the work to organize yourself. You might find that doing an outline actually organizes you well enough that you could start from the very beginning and just keep going. But reserve the right to write where your energy feels. So if your energy feels, I'm going to start from the very backwards and work my way up, or I'm going to do theme 4, then theme 2, then theme 3, then theme 1. You have the organization to do it, and you have all of your notes and ideas and things are there. So let's combine those two things that I can help you with, because I can't help you with your emotional blocks. So in your low energy activities, what you do is you look at your outline and you organize your research cards, your article cards. You organize all of that. You get your paper ready. You set formatting of the Word document. You can even save it blank. Doesn't matter. Leave it up. So when you get to the high energy times, you wake up in the morning and you rush to the computer because the energy is driving you to write, and you woke up feeling theme 2, you can go get to theme 2, start your writing, because you got the outline up on maybe on one screen, the other screen you're writing with, your cards are there so you can access the information, and you can begin this process of writing. Whereas someone else gets to the computer, they're not organized, they don't know where to begin, and now they're trying to just start from the very beginning, and 45 minutes have passed and they have one sentence. I hope this makes sense. If you want more information about this, I encourage you to either register for my coaching, or at a bare minimum the course on writing literature reviews, because we cover all of this stuff, all of this skill sets, article cards, organizing your outlines, theming your cards, writing after that, proofing after that. All of those things are organized in that particular coaching and course session. Check them out on myadvantage.org. and we can talk further. Contact me directly if you're interested in the coaching, because I can walk with you through this entire process and make sure it gets done. With the course, you have all the information, just not the coaching. With the coaching, you get all the information and you get someone to hold you accountable. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's 7:31. Thank you for coming in. Conversations with Lamp. Glad you came through, brother. Appreciate you. And once again, as we talked earlier, I gave that shout out. Conversations with Lamp. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on SoundCloud. It's James Lamp. You can find him on Facebook. Find his information. Get involved in checking out those podcasts that he does. Excellent information. Great people on. But definitely check him out. Shout out to you, brother James Lampkin. Once again, shout out to First Gen Fly at www.firstgenfly.com. Shout out to the Done Dissertation and Dr. Ramon Goings. And shout out to the special, lovely Miss Jacqueline Robinson. She's so nice, I probably would have married her. But at the Bougie Shootery on all platforms, www.bougieshootery or couturery, depending on how fancy you are, .com. You can find her information on there. Check her out. She does ship charcuterie boxes, things like that. So look forward to all of that. And once again, if you have any friends who are interested in being an independent contractor for the Math Advantage Camp, I'll share the link. You probably see it in another post of mine, but I'll share that link. Make sure you get that link to them. It's an excellent opportunity to do something different, do something more innovative, and could set a new trend for how we learn. If you know any parents who have rising 4th, 5th, and 6th grade students, and you want to get them early exposure to math in the math curriculum, contact us. Enrollment for this program will start in March, but we can start putting together a list very shortly, but you will see advertisements come out for the Math Advantage Camp for parents. And we're also right now taking applications for independent contractors, or teachers as we like to call them, but legally we call them independent contractors. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Look forward to seeing you next week. Reminder, next week we're going to talk about doctoral expectations and how some people can walk into a doc program the wrong way and get thrown for a loop. So very good conversation next week. Once again, I'm still working on confirming the guest, but we're going to have that great conversation with the guest. Ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you next week.